Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome back to Temple Beth Shalom. We're so happy you're here. We have a big night tonight here at Temple Beth Shalom. We're going to be celebrating the beginning of Tu B'not Mitzvah. So we'll be celebrating their simchas. We have a number of people in the sanctuary, including one of our students. Benji is here all the way in the back. I can see Benji from my desk, so I want to welcome him. I see Rabbi smiling and waving to Benji, so Shabbat Shalom to him. We have a number of things coming up this week, including our annual meeting this Wednesday, May 25th. Everyone is invited to our annual congregational meeting, and we look forward to seeing you there. We encourage you to go to our website, see all the different programs, classes, and sessions that are being offered. Tomorrow morning, there's all types of Shabbat services, and tonight, after Shabbat services, right here in the Welcome Center near my desk, there will be all kinds of New York-style deli here for our oneg. So we hope you can stay. Those of you at home, you're going to miss out, but you'll next year when we do it again. But, Rabbi Pomerantz at this time, just before Shabbat, always encourages us to take a deep breath, let the week go by, and welcome in the Shabbat. So on behalf of everyone here at Temple Beth Shalom, I want to welcome you and wish you all a relaxing and peaceful Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As we near the end of our annual Torah reading cycle, we are also nearing the end of the book of Leviticus and watching the academic year wind down for our students. Tonight, we are honoring our graduating seniors, and it seems like just yesterday it was your confirmation, and time passes so quickly. Many of them have been with us since they were babies here at Temple Beth Shalom. We're also honoring our students who have participated in our two fellowship programs, the Israel Fellows and our Teen Justice League. We are honoring our Madri Chol, who have supported our youth program. We are honoring those who are receiving the Kronish Awards and our outgoing and incoming Beshti leaders. That's a lot. And we have Rabbi Loibin to thank for all of that, all of the incredible work. If that's not enough, we are also naming a brand new baby here tonight, a baby girl. We have two B'not Mitzvah, two young women becoming Bat Mitzvah tomorrow. And in between that all, we do have a Shabbat service. And we are welcoming some families who have joined us this past year from New York, California, Chicago, from all over this country. So to launch into this really blessed Shabbat, I'm going to invite our B'not Mitzvah families to the Bima for the kindling of the Shabbat candles, and I invite all of you to turn to page 2 in our prayer books for our liturgy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. And we turn now to page 4 for the Kiddush, and we invite Brielle and Chloe's fathers to read the opening passages.
Oh, is this yours, Jeff, I think? No.
And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Now we're going to have the girls come. If you could let the girls come forward. Are you ready? Wait, where's your thing? Oh, you gave it back to me. Is this it? No, this is for her. You don't get it. Let me have this. Okay? All right, so you're going to do the first. It starts right here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsha be'ahava u'ratzon hinhilanu zikaron le'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila Mikra kodesh zecher liad Mitzrayim.
Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai bekadesh haShabbat.
L'chaim. To a wonderful, wonderful weekend and Shabbat for the Zeitz and Steinberg families. And we are going to turn to page 8 in our Sidurim. And I invite all of you to join me in this special prayer of gratitude. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. And we turn now to the words of Lecha Dodi, come my beloved, these words which welcome the Sabbath bride. And we sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And we rise on the final verse and turn to the entrance of our synagogue to welcome the Sabbath bride.
Yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekabe, yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala. Yalla la la la, penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet ve'lichila. Yalla la la la, lecha dodi, yalla la la la, likrat kala, yalla la la la, penei Shabbat. Penei Shabbat nekavela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekavela. Hitoreri, kiva ore, kumi ori, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekavela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Shabbat, penei Shabbat.
And we remain standing and turn to page 28 for the call to worship.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
You may be seated, except for Summer. Is Summer here, or did she leave the congregation? Summer, you want to bring your family up? You want to bring up your new little baby sister? All right. So we have the privilege of naming this brand new baby girl at services here tonight. And I know as somebody who has had 3 children graduate from high school, I would be feeling a little verklempt right now as I look at this new baby and think about how it was just yesterday when your children were these new babies in our congregation. So come on up. And the grandparents coming up too? Beautiful. You should see her socks. Logan has got the nicest socks, and your shoes are lighting up. Incredible. Oh, so one of the things we celebrate in our tradition is door le door, from generation to generation. And it really feels like we are enacting that here tonight with the naming of a baby, as well as the graduation of our seniors and the B'nai Mitzvah, B'not Mitzvah. So I'm going to ask you, Meredith, to pass baby Logan to her grandparents. And in about 13 years, she will, and you're going to pass her back. Yeah, maybe you are. In about 13 years, we'll stand up here, God willing, for another chain of tradition. And our tradition teaches that everybody has 3 names. The names their parents give them, and that's the name that she's going to get here tonight. The name that other people call them, like sister, friend, granddaughter. And finally, the name that she will earn for herself, which we hope will be a Shem Tov, a good name. And that's part of your job as parents, is to make sure she is raised in a way where she earns that Shem Tov, that good name for herself. So now it is my joy to bless her with these words. Eloheinu, yeah, come a little closer. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our fathers and mothers, v'Elohei b'notenu, and God of our children, kayem et al yada hazot le'aviha u'le'ima, sustain this child through her parents' loving care, v'yikara shema b'Yisrael, and let her name be known in Israel as Logan Olivia, and in Hebrew, Lirina Ahava. And those are all such beautiful names you've chosen. I want to just say a word about the Hebrew names, and then I know you're going to say something about the people for whom she's named. So Lirina which is actually a name I've never heard before, and it's such a beautiful name, means my joy or my song. And ahava is, of course, love. And so I know she has added joy and music and maybe a little noise into your lives. And we hope that she always brings you that joy and that music and that love. And she is named for Leonara, who is Meredith's grandmother, and Alan, Aaron's grandfather. And so I'm going to invite you to share some words about those beloveds. Come stand up at the microphone.
Okay, Leonora, she was born in 1926, and she was a first-generation American. Family, education, and being an American were the primary values in her home. She graduated at the age of 16 and went on to Cooper Union College, where she majored in fine arts and publishing. She married my pappy, Seymour Cohen, and had 3 wonderful children. Here.
Won't be the first time she interrupts you, or the last.
My Aunt Jerry, my Aunt Robin, and my mom, Daryl. While she raised their daughter, she was continued in education and got her master's degree in art education. And she wrote novels and did plenty of art and was very talented. And she remained very active behind scenes for various organizations for many years. Of course, I met her as my grandma, and as a young adult, I got to know her as a caring, kind, wonderful person, and she was very close vicinity in college, so all of my best friends got to become very comfortable with her as well. We have lots of fun stories with her. But I love my grandma very much, and I know that she'll always shine in the shadows of my daughter's successes.
Beautiful.
So my papi, Alan Levy, he arrived in the U.S. On Thanksgiving Day, and he was in New York, and then they moved to St. Petersburg, where him and his wife, and who was my grandma, and her sister, and her husband lived across the street from each other. Unfortunately, he passed at a young age, but his values that he instilled in my dad will be remembered. I mean, he was just such a good father to my father, and I can see just through the values that he instilled of working hard, caring for your family, and always being close to your family. I mean, he lived across the street from his other half, so family was always important, and I know that's something that will follow us generation through generation through all of our family as well. So, thank you.
Wait, don't leave. We're not done.
Not done yet. Not gonna leave, yeah, still here.
So we're going to continue with blessing her with these words. We say, Zot hakatana gedola tihyeh, which means this little one, very little, she's 6 weeks. May she one day be big like her sister Summer and like her parents and grandparents. And here we're not just talking about big in body, but big in spirit, big in heart, big in deeds. And now we're going to invite the whole congregation to join in blessing her by repeating these words after me. Keshem, Sheniknasa, Labrit, Kain, Tikanes, La Torah, La Chuppah, Uma'asim Tovim. And what we have just prayed for is that just as this Shabbat she has entered into the covenant with God and the Jewish people in our community, we pray that she will enter into a life of Torah study. And Meredith and Aaron, that is your job, to make sure that you give her a good Jewish education. I hope I see her running through the halls of Temple Beth Shalom for many, many years to come. And the second thing we prayed for is that she should one day, no rush, she should one day enter the chuppah, which means she should find a beloved, a partner, somebody to be by her side throughout her life, just as you two have found each other. And the hidden blessing is that you should be there to witness that moment. And finally, we pray that her hands be filled with ma'asim tovim, that her hands be filled with loving kindness, with acts of tzedakah and righteousness, and that you raised her in a home like that. And now, will you let me take you, Logan?
Of course.
You let me take you? You're just a little peanut. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to bless her. So I'm going to have her whole family gather around. Summer, you want to put your hand on your sister too?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
We're going to bless her with these words. Go ahead and put your hand on her too. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you, little Logan, Lirina. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha. May the light of God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. And last of all, we pray, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence always be with you and grant you a lifetime of love, of joy, of hope, and of peace. There we are, 2 for 2. Amen.
Simin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, yay lanu. Simin tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, a mazel tov, a simin tov, yay lanu.
So we are going to continue our service. I'm going to invite our Benot Mitzvah to join me up here on the bima for the singing of the Shema. And as we prepare to recite these words of Shema, which are traditionally the very first prayer that Jewish children learn, we're reminded that Adonai is Echad, that God is one, which means as children of God, we are all connected to each other and to nature and to God. Tonight we welcome some new members to our congregation. We have this special oneg tonight with deli food. Since so many people from New York joined us throughout the pandemic, we've also had many people from California, from Chicago, from around the country. We hope that you already feel warmly embraced by our congregation and that you continue to come back again and again. And I'll invite our Benot Mitzvah to lead us in the Shema. Sorry.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, Bechol levavecha, Ubchol nafshecha, Ubchol me'odecha, Ve'hayu Hadevarim ha'eleh, Asher Anochi Metzavecha Hayom Alevavecha Veshinantam Levanecha Vedivartam Bam Veshivtecha Beveitecha Uvlechtecha Baderech Uvshokvecha Uvkumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha uktartam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim Lehechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelochim, Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Mazel tov to both the Zeitz and Steinberg families We look forward to sharing a blessed day with both of you. And the hard part's over. That was tonight. Tomorrow you're just going to sail. We're going to continue our service with the chanting of the Micha Mocha on page 40 as we remember our ancestors who fought toward freedom. We turn now to the Hashkivenu on page 42 in your Sidurim. And in this prayer, we ask God to bestow a shelter of peace, a Sukkot Shalom upon us. We especially think about our seniors in high school who are going off to their next adventure, whether it be college or a job or some other adventure. And we ask that God's shelter of peace guard you in every place you go.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzitei לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
We turn now to the Amidah on page 46. I invite the congregation to rise, and we'll follow our prayers on the even pages of our Sidurim.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tov V'konei hakol V'zocher chasdei avot v'himahot U'mevi geula livnei v'neihem Lema'an shemo be'ahava Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechaye hakol atarav lahoshia Morid hatahal Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim verofech olim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Micha mocha ba'al gevurot umido melach Melech meimid u'mechayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua v'nemanat al hachayot ha'kol Baruch atah
Hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh Ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We take a few moments of quiet prayer, whether it be the prayers in our prayer book or the prayers of our hearts, and when you're done, you may be seated.
Yihu leratzon imrefi Vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegoali Adonai tzuri vegoali May the words, of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
Shabbat Shalom. At this point in our service, we turn our hearts and minds to those who are in need of healing. If you're thinking of someone tonight who can use our prayer and the strength of our beautiful community here tonight as we pray together for their complete healing, refuah shlema, please feel free to say their names out loud as my hand moves across the room. We hold all of their names in our hearts as we pray for them to have a whole and complete healing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rofei hacholim. Blessed are you, God of the universe, who heals the sick. Our Torah portion this week is Bahar, which is the second to last book of the Torah. Tomorrow morning, we'll read from this parsha, and in the afternoon, we will read the very last words of the book of Leviticus. Shabbat Siyum means our closing Shabbat, which closes out the year for our teens. It honors the completion of such a beautiful year. We have been so lucky to get back into the building, begin traveling again, and engaging our teen community face to face. We're thrilled to celebrate with our flourishing and vibrant teen community this evening. We know that all endings mean new beginnings. We begin with honoring our seniors, to whom we are so sad to say goodbye, but we know that their futures are bright and the next part of their journey is very exciting. And it's an especially important and special class to me because a few of these seniors, when they were in 9th grade, and a few of their parents actually, were on my interview committee and interviewed me to see if I would be the next rabbi here. So a couple of you know who you are. And we go all the way back to when they were in 9th grade, but for everyone else, the beginning of their 10th grade year is when we met and we got to know each other, and I knew right away that there was something special about this class, and that was solidified when we got to go together on a trip, February 2020, thankfully snuck it in there, to Washington, D.C., and we traveled together, and I was able to see them really prove how important their Judaism is as they spoke from their hearts about their Jewish values and began to make the world a better place. While we honor the entire class of 2020, we especially want to acknowledge our seniors who have been very involved this year. It's our tradition that each of them will be receiving a mezuzah as a blessing for their future journey and future homes. Seniors, once you know your address for next year, please send them to me, and I will send you a scroll to put inside the beautiful mezuzah that you'll be receiving this evening. Now, each of the seniors will join me on the bima, so I invite you all, if you are a senior, to join me on the bima, as they will share a few words reflecting on highlights and experiences that they have learned during their time at Temple Beth Shalom. We'll go in alphabetical order just because it's easiest that way. So we begin with Mr. Gavin Basner.
Good evening. My name is Gavin Basner, and I go to Miami Beach Senior High. As I reflect on my time at TBS, the first thing that comes to mind in the past 2 years is that I spent as a Justice League Fellow. I've always been enthusiastic about serving my community, and this program helped intertwine community service with Judaism. Being an advocate for direct action, I really enjoyed a particular project that we did this year that involved refurnishing a house complex for recently freed women from prison. Because of our broken justice system, recently freed people experienced many futile attempts at finding work, a place to live, and a healthy support system. This project gave these women a place to stay so that they can collect themselves and resume their lives. Criminal injustice was one of the many topics we covered throughout the 2 years in this program, And I encourage any rising junior or senior to apply, because not only did my peers and I change countless lives through our work, but we explored what it means to be a Jew and how taking action in our community is shown throughout the Torah. TBS has acted as a second home to me, and I will be forever grateful for the people that helped guide me to be the person I am today, including my preschool teacher, Miss Lizette, Mark Brannick, Rudy, and all of the rabbis and cantors that I've had a chance to work with. My Jewish journey does not stop here. I will be taking my knowledge and lessons learned to the University of Florida with the hopes of making an impact on the campus. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Liam Burko.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Liam Burko, and I'm graduating from Miami Beach Senior High, and will be attending the University of Florida in the fall. I started here at the temple, walking across the street from North Beach Elementary to Hebrew school every Wednesday after school. I was bar mitzvahed, went through confirmation, became involved on the Beshti board, and eventually joined the Social Justice Fellowship from my junior to senior years of high school. Being heavily involved with the temple as a teen impacted my life tremendously. My favorite experience at the temple was going to Let's Haken, like Rabbi Loibin said, in Washington, D.C. with my entire confirmation class, most of whom are here today behind me. On this trip, we attended a social justice seminar with other Jewish groups around the country. My favorite parts of the trip included going to Florida's legislator offices to discuss with them recent bills that were coming up on the Congress floor, as well as hanging out with all of my friends throughout the trip. In addition to this, being a part of the Social Justice Fellowship opened my eyes to the problems that are occurring inside the South Florida community and ways I can be active in volunteer projects in the future. Without Temple Beth Shalom, I would not have had an impactful Jewish upbringing and a deep-found love for Chicken Kitchen. As I make my transition into college at UF, I'll make sure to extend my involvement in Judaism, and I will always hold dear and remember the countless memories that were made here with my friends, Rabbi Loibin, Rabbi Davis, Rabbi Pomerantz, Cantor Siegel, Rachel, Seth, and Mark Brannick, and everyone else who has been a part of my temple experience. Shabbat Shalom.
Liv Chepanik.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Liv Chepanik, and I've been in the Justice League for the past 2 years. But for the past 13 years, I have had the privilege to call Temple Beth Shalom my home. When asked about my favorite part of Temple, the first thing I always think about is the music. Never in my life have I heard about a temple incorporating the amount of music into services, celebrations, and holidays like Beth Shalom does. The music always makes me excited to come to temple and learn the chants and songs. It has also made me feel a part of something bigger when everyone sings together. The music has helped me connect to others and to Judaism in ways I have never thought of. I will forever be grateful for Cantor Siegel's guitar and the amazing voices of the chorus. I would just like to thank everyone who has made me feel welcome in this community, including Rachel Lillenbaum, Rabbi Baer, Rabbi Loibin, Rabbi Pomerantz, Cantor Siegel, Mr. Brannick, and of course the incredible staff and clergy that makes Temple what it is today. Thank you, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.
Adam Chap.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adam Chop. Today I graduated from Ransom Everglades School. First, I want to thank some really important people at this temple. One is Rabbi Pomerantz. I really appreciate the bat mitzvah that you ran for Dana last year during COVID. It was just amazing, when we all couldn't have these services and we made something happen, so very appreciative of that. Cantor Siegel, I don't know where she is, but she's an amazing guitar player. We've performed the Ritzay together on Shabbat twice, and it's really good. I wish you guys could all hear it. And of course, Rabbi Loibin. I really appreciate how you tolerate my lack of punctuality, considering that I didn't realize I had to write this speech until 5 o'clock. yeah, so here I am. I really appreciate the fellowship and confirmation over the past 3 years because it has connected me to some of my best friends, like all of you. And yeah, it's great. If any of you are considering joining or not so sure about how committed you want to be in the temple, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend going on HSI. It connected me to Israel and to all of these fine people behind me. So thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Max Gelber.
Hi, my name is Max Gelber. I'm a senior at Miami Beach Senior High School. I'm graduating next week, and I will be attending Brown University at the fall. To me, like when asked this question about like what temple means to me or elaborate on experience of temple, it really starts with my drive to school every day and my drive home. Every day I drive by Temple Beth Shalom, and every day I drive there when I go to school and on my way home. Sometimes to avoid traffic, but that's just kind of not the point. The basis of it to me and to a lot of people is this concept that temple is a place of prayer, and like that probably applies to almost every single temple across the world. But I think Temple Beth Shalom is a little bit different. Because as I stand here before you reflecting on my time at temple, about to take this next step in my life, I can't help thinking of what temple also has done for me aside from being a place of prayer. It's where I came from to Shabbat and taught Shabbat when I was barely old enough to know how old I was, because I don't know how old I was. It's where I met some of my closest friends who I've been friends with and best friends with for almost a decade. It's a place, but most importantly, I also think it's a place of celebration. Almost every single one of us here was bar mitzvahed here, and we celebrated and we partied and we come here once a week, and some of us have fellowship or either the Israel Fellowship or the Social Justice League, but like we come here and we talk and we learn and we celebrate. But on top of that, it's also a place of mourning. It's where I grieve the deaths of many family members, and during COVID, it was a place where Rabbi Pomeranz specifically came to my house after my grandfather died and was there for us. And it's really important to me because it's a place of togetherness. And every time I walk in, I can count on a handshake and a firm handshake from Mark Brannick, and I can count on a very friendly wave from Rabbi Leuben. And every time I walk into these front doors, I know for sure that I'm not alone. And whether it is a time of celebration or a time of mourning, temple will always be a place that is more than just a place for prayer. It's a place I can count on for support, and it's a place I can count on for togetherness and a community. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Julian Green.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julian. I'm a senior here. I'm about to graduate from Miami Beach Senior High. So during my time here as a teen, I've learned a lot about building a community and working with a community. I've also learned how to advocate for others, people that are underrepresented. Sophomore year, 10th grade, we went on a trip to Washington where we lobbied at Capitol Hill. Personally, I spoke on disability-related legislation. This was right before COVID, and then after that, confirmation went online. But I just want to thank everyone around me, especially my peers and my mentors, for giving me the skills that I have now to flourish as a Jewish adult. During my time in the Israel Fellowship, last 2 years, I've become more aware of the situation going on in Israel, which previously I was not properly informed about. I feel like I've been given the skills and the information to properly represent myself and my opinions as a soon-to-be adult and in my college career. Thank you.
Sophia Green.
I'm getting it. Hi everyone, my name is Sophia, and like everyone's been saying, I'm like really grateful to have a community here, and it's been really nice, especially with the pandemic. And I would say one of the highlights of my experience as a teen at Temple Beth Shalom has been my involvement in the Israel Fellowship Program. I'm really grateful for my experience in it over the past 2 years. I really think it was one of my better decisions. I've learned so much rich information that's especially relevant as I move into this new chapter of my life, especially, the often politicized discourse surrounding the state of Israel. It's also allowed me to form opinions on Israeli culture and life and things I really was pretty ignorant about before. And it has enabled me to find a deeper personal connection with Israel, which is a place that even though I've never visited, I feel very attached to and feel like I have an understanding of. And I hope to take all of these lessons with me into this new chapter. And I'm really excited to see what everyone does after high school, and I'm really excited for the future of this program and for other high school students to have meaningful experiences like I did. Thank you.
Caroline Hartley.
Hello, my name is Caroline Hartley. I'm also graduating from Miami Beach Senior High School and attending University of Florida in the fall. My time at Temple Beth Shalom, which has now started and ended with blonde hair, has been filled with many memories, such as the Purim Carnival, which, if you haven't worked a cotton candy machine, trust me, you don't. The Shulins, finally winning the Adon Olam contest, and secretly making the forbidden coffee at the Beshti retreat. I really can't explain just how much growing up at the temple has meant to me. I also truly want to thank Rabbi Leuven for leading the incredible Israel Fellowship, which I've been a part of for the past 2 years, which after coming back from my first trip to Israel meant so much to feel that connection again and share it with others who understood. For also the amazing Chicago trip, where she secured us unbelievable seats to the Sweet 16 game, and so much more. I know I'll take so much of what you've taught me with me, and you really have helped make ours, and especially my last few years at the Temple, memorable. So thank you, and thank you, Temple, for years of memories and connections I'll have for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Louis Dreyfus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Louis Dreyfus. I'm a senior at Miami Beach Senior High School, and in the fall I'll be attending UCLA. Go Bruins. At this time, as I mentioned, I'm faced with moving away from home, and for me that seems to be thousands of miles away. So at this time, it's a time for a lot of introspection and self-reflection, where basically I'm left with the big question of what am I and what do I want to take with me to the West Coast. And so part of that I have to think about, where do I come almost every Friday? Where did I used to come every Monday and every Wednesday to Temple to hang out with my friends? And that just brings back a lot of good memories of this place and really cements how important Temple Beth Shalom has been to me personally. Whether it be, memorizing the Aleph Bet and being rewarded with gummy bears when I was 8 years old, or impromptu musicals on the bus in New Orleans, or more serious things like tackling deep issues like the centuries of oppression that Jews have faced and more social issues that we continue to face today. So in summary, yeah, Temple Beth Shalom has been a fantastic part of my life, and I'm very grateful to have it, and it's definitely instilled a lot of values and memories that I'll definitely carry with me throughout the rest of my life. Thank you.
Josie Maskovitz.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. I'm Josie Moskovitz, graduating from Miami Beach Senior High, and I'll be attending Cornell in the fall. Since I was born, Temple Beth Shalom has played such a huge role in my life, from preschool to Hebrew school to my bat mitzvah to confirmation, and now to the Social Justice Fellowship. Temple has given me a place and a platform to interact with such inspiring people and who make me want to be a better person each and every day. Specifically with the Social Justice Fellowship, I'm so grateful that I have been given the opportunity to connect my Jewish values to my values in society, which is something I have learned is really important to me to continue in college and for the rest of my life. The Social Justice Fellowship has given me a more well-rounded and open-minded view on my community and instilled in me a passion to create positive change in the world around me. One of my favorite experiences that I wanted to touch on is when Charlotte, Sarah, and I went with Rabbi Loibin and Rachel to Tallahassee to lobby at the Capitol for reproductive rights. This experience was incredible as we got to listen to such inspirational women from all over the state deliver personal testimonies that really provided meaning to their fight and inspired us to create change. We had the opportunity to talk to state legislators and provide a teenage perspective to all of our arguments. Because of this experience, along with all of these service projects that I've taken part of and learning sessions with Justice League, I feel prepared to go to college, bring everything I've learned, and continue making positive change in the world around me. Temple truly has shaped who I am as an individual, and because of this experience, I feel prepared to continue making positive change, and for that I'm so thankful for Rabbi Loibin and Rachel Lillenbaum and all of Temple Beth Shalom. Thank you.
Charlotte Paley.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Charlotte Paley. I go to Miami Beach Senior High. I'm graduating next week, and next year I'll be attending Harvard. So I am a member of the Justice League Fellowship and have been a part of the TBS community for as long as I can remember. This place has not only given me an outlet to explore and define Judaism for myself, but it has been a constant source of safety, comfort, and community. It is my home. Every time I walk through the temple gates, I automatically feel safe. Safe to physically be here to practice Judaism, thanks to Rudy and the security staff. Safe as I am welcomed by a sense of familiarity when Mr. Baranek greets me in the lobby. And safe to express my feelings, stand up for things I am passionate about, and just be unapologetically me. Throughout all of the wonderful experiences I have had here, bat mitzvah prep, mini beshti, mitzvah day, confirmation classes, letaken, and being the soup contest judge, and so many other memories, most of all, Justice League, I have been lucky enough to have developed so many incredible and lasting relationships. Young or old, Jewish or not, every person I have met through Temple has had one thing in common. They are guided by their constant desire to leave the world better than they found it. I am proud to say that after 13 plus years at Temple, I myself am no exception. Each and every person here has shaped who I have become, and for that, for you, thank you. This is goodbye for now, but the memories I've made at TBS are definitely coming along to college with me, and I know I'll be back soon. Shabbat Shalom.
Zoe Sepsimal.
Hi, I'm Zoe Sepsimal. I too am graduating from Beach High next week, and in the fall I'll be attending UC Berkeley. For almost 17 years, my family has been a part of this congregation, and for as many of those years that I can remember, walking through these doors has felt like walking into my own home. A couple of months ago, my grandmother passed away, and my family hosted a shiva at our home. As soon as we opened our doors, our house was immediately flooded with familiar faces. There was not a moment where my family had to wonder if anyone was going to show up, because there seems to be this feeling at Temple Beth Shalom that brings all of us together. This feeling of love and engagement and togetherness that lets everyone who is a part of this congregation know that they're not alone. One thing I really admire about this place is the commitment to the inclusion and togetherness isn't applied only to our congregation, but to the Miami Beach community as a whole. Temple Beth Shalom executes the meaning of Reform Judaism exactly as intended, to be a place that is ever-changing and evolving to the community it serves, while maintaining a strong connection to religion and spirituality. Our Mitzvah Day tradition is the perfect example of this. Having been a part of a project every year, I've been taught that the importance of doing good things for people, regardless of my personal connection to them, is something that helps me strengthen my own character while also impacting the community around me. Through taking time out of my day to benefit others, I've learned things about myself that only Temple could have taught me. That the most meaningful thing I can do is to make the people around me feel this same sense of love and togetherness that I've been so privileged to feel these past 17 years. Thank you.
Jonathan Taman.
Shabbat Shalom. I am Jonathan Taman, and I'm going to be graduating from Miami Beach Senior High School and going to Clark University. Temple Beth Shalom literally means a house of peace, and indeed, here we are in a place of peace and spirituality. But to me, Temple Beth Shalom is more, and easily wins the title of being my greatest influence. It is a part of who I am. From 10 years ago, crossing the street and dropping my backpack in the Welcome Center, running around to Hebrew lessons, and then to my bar mitzvah, and then to the Justice League, Temple Beth Shalom has been an integral part of my childhood. It is a part of who I am. They say empathy cannot be taught, but I beg to differ. I am especially grateful to Rabbi Pomerantz, Rabbi Bear, and Rabbi Leubin, who were my three original teachers, who did not just teach me that the Torah tells us to be good people, but also showed all of us how it is to be done. And to be exemplary role models in social justice and treating everyone with compassion and kindness. So to all the clergy, staff, friends, and amazing people in this temple, thank you for being an amazing part of who I am.
Josh Tobin.
Hi, everybody. My name is Josh, and I'm a senior at Beach High, just like almost everyone else that talks up here. I've been involved with Temple for pretty much my entire life. Almost everything Temple has to offer teens I've been involved in, even things that are entirely adults, except for like on the board of trustees, except for me. Although I must say, as Jeff knows, Michael Meltzer's catering makes them top notch. Temple is really it's a whole different place for me. You learn so much. Everyone here is so friendly. Anyone that knows me knows I like to talk to security outside before I come in, see how everyone's doing, go in, see Mr. Baranek at his desk. It's a whole different experience coming in here, and you really, it just feels like really nice to come in. I've made so many memories during my time here. I've met people that have forever changed the way I see the world and have shaped me into the person I am today. I wanted to give a special shout out to Rabbi Leubin and Seth. This year I was the president of Beshti, and they really helped me a lot with any crazy idea I had, like spending a night at Universal almost. They made it possible, and we did it. And yeah, I also wanted to give a shout out to Maxwell over there. You're going to be great next year at the Beshti president, so I wanted to just say congratulations. Thank you all for your time, and yeah.
Emily Wall. Emily Wall.
To justice. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Emily Wool. I'm graduating from American Heritage tomorrow morning, actually. Thanks. Temple Beth Shalom has always been such a huge part of my life, whether it be for Saturday Hebrew school, bat mitzvah lessons, confirmation classes, or the Justice League Fellowship. I can't remember a time when I wasn't constantly here. And yet, with every visit here, whether it be a meeting or a lesson or a service, every time I left, I felt more compassionate, more knowledgeable, a better Jew, and an overall better person. I'm so lucky to have grown up in such an amazing environment. So I know that going from weekly visits to once every few months when I'm home visiting from college will be an adjustment. And while I'm sad I'm not going to be here as often, I'm grateful to have a place that I know I can always come back to and will always welcome me. So as I prepare to walk across the stage tomorrow and leave high school behind forever, I know I'll never leave Temple Beth Shalom behind. Thank you to everyone.
Dylan Weissman.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Dylan Weissman. I'll be graduating Miami Beach Senior High next week, and I'll be attending the University of Georgia. My time at Temple Beth Shalom has been an amazing experience. I started here in Mommy and Me and have stayed actively involved all the way to my senior year in high school. Along the way, Temple has provided so many great friends and mentors, such as Rabbi Leubin, Rabbi Morrison, Mr. Baranek, Rabbi Pomerantz, Cantor Siegel, and Seth. Through the Temple's youth programs, I've been able to take many trips and create many memories that will last a lifetime. My favorite memory is from a recent Israel Fellowship trip to Chicago, where we were able to visit the United Center to watch the Miami Hurricanes play in an NCAA tournament game. My most meaningful memory with Temple Beth Shalom is when I was B'nai Mitzvah in Israel with 7 of my friends who I've known since shortly after birth. Not only was I there with my friends, but I was also there with my parents, brother, sister, and all 4 of my grandparents. Temple Beth Shalom has played a huge role in my life, and I'm forever thankful and grateful for it. I'm moving on to the next chapter of my life, and I know the temple will always be a place I can call home.
Now, you can all understand why I said this is such a special class. And honestly, if I stand up here and bless you for too long, I'll be in tears, so I'm going to make this short. As Rabbi Pomerantz just whispered to me, if we're ever kind of feeling down, we should just re-watch this part of the service, because I feel like there's so much inspiration and love and wisdom that you've all just shared with us and that you've shared with us since you've all been members of Beth Shalom. And we remember, we also think about the seniors that aren't here tonight. We know that there's many more in our community, and we bless them as well. For all of our seniors, we wish you mazel on your future plans, a lot of luck, and we hope that you'll come back and visit us here at Temple Beth Shalom often. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you. Mazel tov. Woo! I'm going to ask that Gavin Basner, stay up here with me. Israel Fellows, if you can find a seat in the front row. And Justice League, don't go too far behind. You get to stand up there with me. We weren't expecting this. It's a surprise. Our new and exciting Majachol program, which is our leadership program, allows teens, grades 9 to 12, the opportunity to develop leadership and communication skills as they plan programming for mini and micro Beshti events, as well as junior Beshti events. The Majachol meet once a month with Seth Cohen, our youth advisor, to learn leadership skills and use these skills to create programming for upcoming youth events, and they implement and staff these programs with our youth. The Majachol form lasting bonds with each other and have meaningful impact on their students. We have one member of the Majachol program here tonight who happens to have also been my teen intern, which means he's graduating and I need a new one. So if anyone knows, please be in touch. Gavin Basner, thank you for your hard work and dedication to the younger people here at the synagogue. They were blessed to have you as an older peer, and they were blessed to hang out with you, creating such programming for them, such fun programming for them, and really taking the time to get to know them. You're leaving behind big shoes to fill. Thank you so much. And I invite the Israel Fellows to come back up and join me at the Bima. It has been a true pleasure to lead and learn alongside our teens in 11th and 12th grade this year who participated in our Israel Fellowship. They have learned about Israel's rich history and development and taught each other about current events. They participated in programming with the Eye Center. As you've heard about, we did a lot more than just go to a basketball game. I need to just put that out there. It was an incredible trip that we had so much beautiful Israel engagement, and the Miami, what are they called? Hurricanes just happened to be in town that weekend. They also got to interact and engage with their Israeli peers about music, food, culture, and life. They have demonstrated their passions for Israel advocacy and its strong ties to their Jewish identity. I would like to thank them all for their engagement in this fellowship and their passion for Israel. I am certain that they will each represent the Jewish people with pride as they continue to have these important conversations. We are pleased to present you with a present and a certificate as I say your names. Adam Chop, Julian Green, Sophia Green, Caroline Hartley, Zoe Hyman, who's not here, Austin Paris, who's not here, Eden Rosenthal, who's not here, Josh Tobin, Dylan Weissman, and Maxwell Weisenfeld. Thank you all. And for the junior among us, we hope that you will continue in the Israel Fellowship next year. And for anyone who knows any rising seniors, we see that we have a lot of spots that are soon going to become available in the Israel Fellowship. Thank you. Justice League, I now invite you to join me on the Bima. The Justice League is a year-long fellowship for the 11th and 12th grade students who want to deepen their relationship to Judaism and social justice. Through the leadership and education of Rachel Lillenbaum, alongside myself, the fellows engaged in learning sessions focused on various issues of injustice and inequity, such as economic justice, racial justice, criminal justice, and immigration. The fellows also learned the different ways to be an activist through direct service, community organizing, and lobbying your legislatures. As we mentioned, we also got an opportunity, while we didn't get to go, sadly because of COVID, on our Justice League trip, a few of us did get to go to Tallahassee to actually lobby for our values, which was very important and special. Though through monthly service learning trips, and the Justice League Fellows were exposed to various communities and organizations throughout Miami and learned how to become advocates and activists locally and beyond, and I know that they will continue to do so throughout their lives, as many of them mentioned this evening. Their commitment to Tikkun Olam, making the world a better place, is evident through their dedication to this fellowship is evident through their dedication to this fellowship throughout this year, and I know that as each of you moves on to doing whatever it is that you're going to do in your next community, I know that you will see how important it is to get to know the community that you're living in and to be able to take your time to serve those needs in those communities. So we know that you will do so with honor and pride, and we are pleased to present you the present and certificate as I say your names. Gavin Basner, Liam Burko, Liv Chepanik, Noah Cohen, who's not here tonight, Max Galber, Josie Moskowitz, Charlotte Paley, Sarah Schulman, who's also not here tonight, Zoe Sepsenwall, Jonathan Taman, and Emily Wohl. And I'm gonna make another pitch for this because as you see, there's seniors up here, which means that we will have many spots for incoming juniors and seniors for next year. So we look forward to you spreading the word and seeing just how special a fellowship like this can be. Thank you all, and Mazel Tov. The Rabbi Leon Kronish Award for Outstanding Leadership is named for Temple Beth Shalom's founding senior rabbi and given to a few exceptional high school seniors each year. The award recognizes seniors who have gone above and beyond in their service to Temple Beth Shalom community and exemplify qualities we most cherish in youth leaders. Every single one of you seniors has a special place in my heart. Every single one of you has contributed in such special ways. This year would be diminished if any of you had not been here. This was so particularly hard to choose because I have gotten to know you all so well, and I really deeply am a better person for it. For the honor of the Leon Kronish Award in 2022, 5782, we have chosen the following students, all of whom have been actively committed youth leaders throughout their experience at Temple in a rich variety of TBS programs, trips, and community building initiatives, including 2 years in the fellowship, and have demonstrated outstanding leadership among their peers. I'll call up each of the award recipients and then invite you up as a group to receive your awards. This year's Rabbi Leon Kronish Awards go to Gavin Basner, Liam Burko, Caroline Hartley, and Josh Tobin. You have each demonstrated qualities of compassion, justice, commitment, leadership, reliability, passion, teaching, understanding, role modeling, and extraordinary volunteerism that brings others along with you. It's clear how much you prioritize your Temple experiences and community. You have been so present throughout your time here at Temple Beth Shalom, always the first to sign up to programs and events, always the first to answer my text messages and come as soon as I call you. Volunteering to help me or anyone else who needs it, and spending time at Temple in your free time. Your dedication and passion for Judaism and your Beth Shalom family have been such a blessing for all of us who know you. Thank you for all you do, and we hope that these experiences will guide you in your future. And now, finally, it is my honor to call up members of our Beshti board. So if you're on the Beshti board and you're walking back, I invite you to come back this direction. Beshti stands for Beth Shalom Temple Youth, for anyone who's ever wondered that. And while all of our youth is included in Beshti, anyone who is a youth at Temple Beth Shalom, the board does the important work of planning and programming events. If you were on this year's outgoing or incoming board, I see a couple of 8th graders in the back who should be walking up here as well. Then I invite you to the Bima. I would like to first thank our outgoing president and Josh Tobin. Under your leadership, the board and all of Beshti has really come so far. You have done an outstanding job in leading our group through a trying year, and I want to acknowledge your hard work and efforts, and it's been such a joy to work alongside you. You have truly gone above and beyond, planning programming, talking me into taking an entire bus full of high schoolers to Universal Studios. Thank you all for those of you who also came with me in the crowd. Very helpful. And you've planned such beautiful events, you've engaged new leadership, you've promoted events, you've been a role model for all the youth here at Temple, and doing it all with the best attitude. So thank you. And to all our seniors leaving us, thank you as well. You have left a very strong legacy, and we're going to miss all of you next year. And as I'm going to say several times tonight, you have to come back and visit. I would also like to give a special thanks to Seth Cohen. Officially our class fellow, camp leadership, and synagogue professional here at Temple Beth Shalom, and really such a role model for all of our youth and teens. It's such special and important work that we do, and we're so lucky and blessed to have you, as are all of our teens. And it is my honor to now install our new board for the 2022-2023 year. Of course, first, our president, Maxwell Weisenfeld. Programming Vice President, Allegra Steen. And Zach Zimmerman, who's not here with us tonight. Social Action Vice President, Vanessa Levy. Religious and Cultural Vice President, Aiden Szymanski. Communications Vice President, Matthew Clark and Sabrina Dreyfus. Israel Vice President, Colton Weissman. 11th grade representative, Owen Basner and Caleb Szymanski. 10th grade representative, Jack Nelson and Charlie Reese. And our newest board members, our 9th grade incoming vice presidents, Emmy Basner and Carly Breslow. We know that you have looked up to your older peers behind you who are graduating, and there are big, big, big shoes to fill, and we know that you will, under the leadership of Maxwell, be planning and programming and engaging all of the youth here at Temple Beth Shalom, come up with creative ideas over the summer, and I can't wait to get back to work in the fall. Mazel tov! As we near the end of the book of Torah and we reflect upon all we have learned, we look ahead to a new one as we begin to get excited for all the lessons in store for us. There's a traditional blessing we say that we chant when we end a book, and there are also ways to bless the beginning of a new chapter. May you each be strengthened in your journey as you explore and discover different opportunities, different years in school, new schools, and new experiences. May you be inspired by your Jewish values, your community, and the support of your family and friends. May you find beauty in the joys of life and meaning in the struggles. May you each be blessed, and may your spirits strengthen one another, to which we say, Amen. And it is now, as we have so many simchas in our house tonight, it is now time for us to honor any other simchas. Of course, we have our 2 B'not Mitzvah families, and we're so excited for Chloe and Brielle. We can't wait to celebrate with both of you tomorrow. And if anyone else has a moment in time, if today is a special day that they're celebrating, I just have to mention something. Tomorrow is Cantor Siegel's birthday. If anyone else is celebrating a birthday or anniversary, please rise. Anyone else celebrating a birthday anniversary? If anyone is celebrating a graduation, please rise. If anyone is becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow or here to celebrate someone becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow, please rise. If anyone is here because they are family members, everyone stay standing, please. If anyone is here because they are family members of people who were honored this evening because they are teens here at Temple Beth Shalom, please rise. If anyone here is just excited to celebrate Shabbat with us this evening because it's a beautiful Shabbat to be here with this beautiful community, please rise as we say together, Shehechianu, as we're all strengthened by each other's simchas. We are so blessed to be together.
Or if you came for the New York deli food, okay? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh.
Standing and turn to page 282 for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tein gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoyeh haratzot velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'goraleinu kechol hamonam va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruchu v'nehemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo 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 echad.
You may be seated. There are so many people who we remember here tonight who would be kvelling to see their grandchildren or children or great-grandchildren. Today we remember those who have departed this earth within the past 30 days and whose families remain in the shloshim of their mourning. We think about Jerry Kaplan, Hugo Morales, Estelle Ryder, Shirley Horwitz, Lou Mayer, Barry Michael Munchik, and Howard Broad. We think as well of those innocent victims of hatred and racism whose lives were mowed down this week in Buffalo so tragically. We remember Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Andre McNeil, Catherine Massey, Margus Morrison, Hayward Patterson, Aaron Salter, Geraldine Talley, Pearl Young, and Ruth Whitfield. And we remember that this week we reached the mark of 1 million COVID deaths in our country. Zikronam livracha, may the memories of all of them be a blessing to those who love them. We also honored the yahrzeits of those individuals whose yahrzeit falls this week and whose names have been lovingly inscribed in our alcove of remembrance. We remembered Ciela Beristainer, Harry Buttwenig, Cantor David Convaser, Samuel Crystal, Sheldon Dickstein, Richard Furlong, Judith Krensky Gerard, Samuel Goldberg, Barbara Gordon, Morris Grossman, Joseph Harris, Eleanor Keaty, Brian Evan Kovler, Merle Geller Loring, Dave May, Mortimer May, Ethel Mayerson, George Ossip, Mildred Midge Riskin, Fred Rogenson, Michael Rosenbaum Raviv, Dr. Helene Schreira, Ruth C. Schwartz, Charles Silver, Albert Sonnenreich, Martha Suskin, Madeline Tobin, Beatrice Ida Weinstein, Robert Jaffe, and Estelle Zalkin. And all those other yortzites that we observe on this Shabbat: Marcos Brodsky, Rochelle Cervera, Moises Cohen, Molly Dribbin, Dee Dee England, Saul Frankel, Mitchell Friedland, Josie Halpern, Eva Hartley, Daniel Jonas, Martin Curlin, Herbert Kornreich, Mark William Curry, Max Levick, Ida Miller Weinstein, Irving Orenstein, Moises Pichon, Morris Rand, Martin Rice, Morton Robinson, Sam Rosenfield, Rose Rossman, Sam Sherris, Molly Shockett, Gloria Singerman, Dorothy Dot Tandy, Alan Treaster, Gloria Wax, and Jerome Weinroth. If there's anybody who I did not name and you are remembering in a period of mourning or for a yortzeit, I invite you to please rise and remain standing as you share that name with us. Mark? Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. We rise as one congregation for the words of Kaddish on page 294. And as we do, we think about the 6 million men, women, and children who perished in the Shoah, in the over 24,000 Israeli soldiers who perished so that we might have a Jewish homeland in Israel. And we think of the thousands of American soldiers who have died defending our liberties. And we take them all into our hearts with our own as we praise God and thank God for their lives with these words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala v'yizman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved here and everywhere with God's blessing of peace. And we say, Amen. You may be seated. I'd like to invite up our past president, Karen Revo, to share some announcements. And as she's coming up, I just want to say, wow, what an incredible night. I am overwhelmed, and I was crying through the service, even though my own children have graduated. I mean, it's just, you've all have added so much to our synagogue. We are so proud of you. And I want to thank Rabbi Loibin for her skill and leadership in bringing you back to the temple again and again, and Seth Cohen as well. Thank you, Rachel Lillenbaum, as well, for your leadership. We are so blessed.
Amen. So this is the most important announcement. Did anyone lose a little Jewish star necklace? We have it. We found it out in the lobby. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Karen Revo, past president of the congregation, and I'll be very brief because I know the hour is late. On behalf of the board, I want to say a Mazal Tov to our two Benot Mitzvah. I know tomorrow will be very special, Brielle and Chloe. So to you and your families, Mazal Tov. And also, I have on my sheet to say Mazal Tov to the baby, but they are long gone. They left. She's probably already sound asleep, the Larina Ahava. Also want to welcome our new families from New York, and I'm going to try this. Start spreading the news. The Oneg is going to be in the Welcome Center, and it's going to be really good food from New York. I was told to say that. How was that? So Welcome Center. So tomorrow, as always, we have our Torah study at 9:30. Tat Shabbat is at 10, and 10:30 is our Minyan service. And then I just want to tell you about 3 events this week. On Tuesday night, there's a brotherhood event at Top Golf. So the men are going to go play golf. And there's a sisterhood event called Bullets for Life. So take your pick. You can RSVP or just look at your temple bulletin for details. Wednesday night is our annual meeting, and it will be at 7 p.m. by Zoom. And finally, Rabbi Glickstein is teaching a series of classes on Zoom, and his class this week is at 7 p.m. on Thursday night. You do need to RSVP to know Emmy to get the Zoom link, and it's a class entitled Faith, Where It Comes From and What Does It Entail. So that's it. Shabbat Shalom and Mazal Tov to all of our beautiful youth.
Thank you, Karen. The Bullets for Life, just so you know, are bullets that are made into jewelry, bullets that have been found in our community, and as we think about Buffalo this week and California and all these senseless shootings, the money is used for gun violence prevention. I also want to announce that our Beshti students are going to go right to the back patio for your dinner event, okay? And everybody else to the Welcome Center for deli. We're going to sing a closing song called I Have a Voice. And our seniors were actually the last students who have been able to go to the Litaken seminar in DC. God willing, we're going to go again next year, but I know how much this song meant to you, and you all have a voice. Use it to make our world better. Everyone, let's please rise as we sing this song.
I will open my eyes, I will open my, I will not look away.
I will not look away.
I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tzelem Elohim. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.